This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
Welcome to Boomer Life on CL 650. I'm Joanne Sutton. And today we're in studio and speaking with Jim Doyle, Senior Financial Consultant with Investors Group Financial Services. And Jim comes to us with a long list of credentials. CFP, Certified Financial Planner. There's a CLU, a TEP, CDFA, CIWM, Certified Investment Wealth Manager.
International Wealth Manager. But most importantly, you come to us with almost 27 years of experience doing this job. We're glad to have you here to share some of that experience with us today. Now, there's a few subjects as intimidating as the conversation about money. Almost everyone has an opinion about it, but how many know with any confidence or degree of certainty what to actually do about it? Before the break, Jim, you and I were talking about some of the issues that people might want to consider when planning for retirement, planning their transition into retirement, and a number of the issues that you might need to look at. So let's continue this conversation now, because it was good. Thank you. One of the concepts catching on as of late in retirement has to do with cash flow planning, and that's having multiple streams of income in retirement.
Well, why do you feel that creating multiple streams of income in retirement has a little more urgency now than it used to?
Today's investor wants options. They want to choose when and how they receive their income. There used to be a time when you worked a lifetime for the same company and you took their pension plan when you retired at 65. Mm-hmm. When it came to your financial plan, you might be forgiven for a create it and leave it approach. Things were simpler then. But that's not the case for many approaching retirement today. You must monitor and reassess your financial plan regularly.
So, Jim, what are some of the biggest reasons that you might have to monitor and reassess your financial plan regularly?
One that comes to mind is if your retirement nest egg is too small and leaves you looking to fill the income gap. The second issue has to do with the low interest rate environment we're in and planning for income streams appropriately.
Well, that seems to be the million-dollar question right now, isn't it? I think we've been expecting interest rates to go up for some time now, but what do we do if these rates stick around for a while?
We'll definitely be covering this in a bit, okay? I think the final one, coming back to our point a little bit earlier, has something to, that you might want to ignore at your own risk, and that's longevity. On average, we're living longer, and our money needs to do more and last longer. And this requires effective planning.
Well, it's quite a plateful. So, Jim, let's take a closer look at why these issues are worth paying attention to and why multiple streams of income in retirement really matter.
Most of the families we work with, they have a bit of wealth. It's not uncommon for them to have not put a lot of thought as to when, how, and why they will implement their retirement income strategies, and what circumstances may require that they revisit existing strategies. They're not facing any income challenges now, and they haven't explored how their future needs are going to be addressed. Add in tax planning and estate planning issues, and the need for good planning simply goes up.
Mm-hmm. And this is where Jim can help. We are speaking with Jim Doyle, Senior Financial Consultant with Investors Group Financial Services, and we're talking about what you need to know when planning for retirement. Here's his phone number. You can reach Jim at 604-682-5431.
Retirement is meant to be a reward after decades of hard work and dedicated savings. This is what we call the accumulation phase. The next phase, the deaccumulation phase, is where we use those many years of savings to help pay for retirement we've always envisioned. It's not as simple as you might think.
Oh, I love that. Retirement as a reward. For many, it's just all about margaritas on a sunny beach twice a year, right? Or even all year long.
For many folks we work with, they enter retirement planning to spend everything that they make. And for some people, this strategy will work well. For others, we suggest a game plan on how they intend to use their resources to ensure they can enjoy all of their retirement years, not just some of them.
Well, Jim, we touched on this earlier. With interest rates so low, I'm certain that some people don't feel secure about their financial futures, and expenses keep rising, but incomes aren't keeping pace, and investment returns seem to be less reliable.
Personally, I find retirement income planning quite rewarding. People are anxious about running out of money in retirement, and they dread being a burden to others. They're anxious about how to address their concerns, and they want solutions.
Of course they do. Avoiding the pitfalls that these issues create takes a lot of planning. The type of planning that a written financial plan can help explore before it becomes too late to fix a potential problem.
If you're anxious about maintaining your standard of living in retirement, your retirement income, and you're ready to do something about it, I'd like to encourage you to give me a call. That's at 604-682-5431.
604-682-5431. So, Jim, what's one of the biggest mistakes that you see retirees making?
One area we see is overspending early in retirement. It's easy to do. I think people can be forgiven for being a little giddy with excitement entering retirement. Everything's so new. My brother-in-law ran a dairy farm for years. In the spring, he'd move the cows into the fields with fresh grass. You could tell the cows were excited. Seeing milking cows kicking up their heels in excitement as they ran into the field. They were having a grand old time.
Oh, you're painting a good picture here. So overspending early in retirement sounds like a complete recipe for disaster. Talking to an accredited financial planner could be a great place to start. So what would be some of the topics that you might encourage discussion about?
Well, determining which assets generate income and which ones to take income from and which order to redeem assets from. Add in tax planning and estate planning, and you have a start on your own personal financial cookbook. The trick is ensuring, as different financial events transpire in your life, you make sure that your financial plan stays relevant to your changing circumstances.
Well, something we often talk about on this show is the importance of planning for taxes.
Tax and estate planning options are evolving all the time. If you don't deal with this sort of stuff every day, it can be hard to ensure you're on top of all of the relevant details.
Well, when it comes to all of those relevant details, Jim, can't I just pay someone like you to look after them for me? Well, after all, you are the expert. And sometimes, well, a lot of times, I'm just not sure what's relevant.
Wow. You know, a lot of stuff we hear about money from other people is just dead wrong. Or more commonly, it doesn't apply when you consider all of the facts of your situation at hand. It's not uncommon for individuals planning their finances to base their direction on myth, hearsay, what their parents did, or advice provided by friends, neighbors, co-workers, the internet, or the media.
Well, Jim, here's the skill testing question. How do these myths develop?
Hey, some we inherit. This is what we do in our family. Or I saw it done this way. Some come from our egos, like the idea that we can determine the right time to buy or sell an investment, market timing, the buy low, sell high stuff.
Well, it's clear nearly every financial decision that you make or even don't make can impact some other aspect of your financial present and your future.
It could really mess you up if you only use advice on a piecemeal basis. It's a mantra in my practice. If I don't know, I can't advise. In my mind's eye, you don't keep secrets from your priest or your financial planner. I want to create an environment of trust where clients can let me know about the material changes in their lives, and then we can do some wonderful planning together.
Well, this is where the advice of a planner can actually help. Call Jim, even if it's just for a second opinion. His number is 604-682-5431.
We're happy to help.
Well, I can't help but feel there's a sense amongst our listeners that they feel more processed than actually served when dealing with their investment advisors, who seem to be more focused with completing the transaction than actually advancing the relationship that they have. This is where I think you are completely different, where you stand out.
Thanks, Joanne. When the relationships are personal, the planning comes easy.
And as we were saying earlier, a lot of investors are looking for ways to become more comfortable with protecting their retirement income streams. So where's the best place to get started, Jim?
If you haven't done it already, create a written financial plan and update it each year. In its simplest form, the plan will show you where you are, where you're going, and what it will take to get you there.
Well, I think we could all benefit from engaging a financial planner like yourself. You're listening to Boomer Life on CL 650. I'm Joanne Sutton. Today we're in the studio and speaking with Jim Doyle, Senior Financial Consultant with Investors Group. And if you have any questions about your personal situation or you would appreciate maybe a second opinion, I suggest you give Jim a call today, 604-682-5431. Or if it's easier, you can send him an email, jim.doyle@investorsgroup.com. Now, we've all heard how many of us would like to achieve more in retirement but seem to be floundering. Well, the big question is, why are we floundering? Stay with us. Jim offers insights into retirement planning worthy of a fresh look. That's all next on Boomer Life on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.